Welcome to 10 Tenths Podcast. I am Michael with Adam and Robbie, and we have a very long list of topics that we have to cover today. If I'm entirely honest.
I thought you were going to say we have a guest. I was like, no, we don't.
Robbie has somebody on the phone. Robbie.
Surprise.
Nope, no guests this week. It was a good run of guests, though. It was a good run of quality guests.
That was fun.
It was fun. But as a result, you guys have like a month's worth of our musings that you have to listen to on this show.
And that's going to be fun, too.
It is going to be fun. There's many things that we have to talk about, though.
So many
Should we jump into your opener?
If you know what
Sure.
Are you ready? So let's do Adam's opener, if you know what I mean, presented up by Eyes Up Auto Art.
All right, so this week, I broke my vow of silence and actually let Michael and Robbie know what I was going to talk about this week because I wanted mostly Robbie's engineering mind to wrap around it. So this was actually brought, or kind of accidentally posted in our Facebook group, which you should go and join. Camber tire. I want to talk about this because
It's a thing.
It's what you think it is.
yes,
it's
it is
exactly.
it is a tire. So, okay, I understood it as a tire that was slanted from one side to the other, so that if you had a car with like a stance car with a bunch of camber, that the
Yep.
tire still sat flat.
Yes. It does.
But
It does.
the way that Michael was kind of talking about it, and I will let you say these things, that almost sounds opposite of what I was
What I saw
envisioning.
was they were trying to claim some sort of motorsport.
Yeah, because that's like if you go through their website, they're
Yeah.
like talking about how they went to like SCCA solo nats and
Yeah, so you could have 3 or 4 degrees of camber created by the tire sidewall. So my point was, like we're seeing more pro touring cars that are doing autocross. We're seeing cars with solid rear axles like Mustangs that are drifting and things like that. So if you wanted more camber on a solid axle car or on a car that you couldn't dial in a lot of camber with, you could use these tires, and that's in a motorsport scenario.
See, that makes sense in like a street class. Like there's a lot of most factory cars have little to no camber adjustability.
Definitely. Yeah, not easily.
Yeah, and
Not without adjusting something
without
else.
using like offset weird bolts and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
putting in camber plates, which none of those things are allowed in like lower tier solo classes. So when you explain it that way, and maybe that's what they are trying to say their product does, is it gives you camber in a scenario
When you can't get it.
I thought that it was to dial camber out on your car so that your tires lasted longer when you were living that hella flush life.
Well, you can use it for that if you wanted to. I mean, that's the thing is, yeah, your outside diameter is bigger than your inside diameter.
If it's the way that Michael's describing it, it would be if you had it on a stance car with a whole bunch of camber, this would just add more camber to it.
Yeah, if you flip the tire,
I suppose if you
it
flipped
would-
it.
you'd have to
Okay,
do it
if you
that way.
flipped it,
So
I
you
suppose.
could.
Just depends on which way you put it on the rim then. That I could see.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Is
so-
that-
we're on the same page now, I think.
Yes. The intent is that by having this cambered tire that you can go you have a bigger patch touching the road at all times. So you have a bigger patch when you take corners.
Yeah.
It's the entire intent of camber in the first place. So it's to replicate that on cars that don't have the ability to. And every time I found a video online or someone that was like, they were comparing, because the Smoking Tire did this in 2013. They took They took a Lancer and they're like, it's got the stock everything. We're just gonna do an autocross and then a track thing with it. We'll see how it feels. And then he switches to another one that has the camber tires on it, and he's talking about how much faster it feels and how much faster you can take the corners. But it's not an apples to apples comparison because the cars are different. The first car that he had was quite a bit old, like had more miles. The other one was clearly built up a little bit more. And the fact that the camber tire is an R compound tire, I think
Right.
would actually play a bigger role than comparing
more
it,
camber.
Yeah, than your camber. But you're taking a bone stock Lancer and comparing it to a Lancer with camber. Regardless of what tires in it, I think you're still gonna. I mean, if you would just tip your wheels in, you would get the same results or similar results.
But if you can't, is I think what they're trying to sell it as.
Right.
For for the record, I think they're dead.
Yeah,
The company.
because
Their Facebook page has not had a post on it in 3 or 4 years.
Yep, he patented it in 1999. 2010 is when they really kind of took off and people were like running with it, going, "This is the next big thing." And his website's still active. You can supposedly still buy these. I'm assuming it's the same run of tires from 2010.
Yeah.
But the cheapest tire you can get is $295, and it's a 245, 45, 17, 2 degrees. And then they range all the way from there up to
5, I think.
4-degree camber tire for $365.
Oofta.
And that's only in a 265, 35, 18. So, I mean, you get 5 options of tires. And I think the fact that if this was supposed to be like the next big thing, it would have turned into something. I think that speaks volumes in itself that, for $340, you can get a hell of a tire and a hell of a setup. Because, I mean, if you're going to spend that kind of money on tires, I think you'd spend just as much money on a suspension setup and dial it in.
Yeah, it wouldn't take you long to have paid for a nice set of coilovers.
No. And then they also posted on their own website, and there it is, the test results where they compared a Yokohama Advan A13, which is 180 tread wear rating, and then even comparing that to their R compound tire, its acceleration was the Advan, which is like a street tire really.
Right.
Its acceleration G-force was higher with 0.69 compared to the R compound's 0.62. And then their cornering Gs were the Advans were 1.05 and 1.03 compared to the R compounds, which are 1.11 and 1.06. So I think if you set your car up right, even with a much cheaper set of tires, you're going to get the same results. And I think the fact that because they're cone shaped with the inside diameter smaller than the outside diameter, you have to fight that. So you have to set your car up, your toe up to fight the fact that it's going to turn in on itself. So
In a straight line.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's a compromise. Do I think they help? Sure. I have no doubt in my mind that these could be set up to make your car faster. And I think that NASCAR actually did something like this because you're always on a curve.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would work in that type of situation. But the fact that this company died, no one took off with it, kind of speaks for itself that it's not going to happen.
It's too niche of a market. You couldn't use that on the street.
Supposedly that was the intent.
Well,
he said that this is
just because you can't doesn't. I mean, I wouldn't want to use that on the street because it wouldn't last very long and it's very expensive. It'd be just like running slicks.
the R compound, but I think the 2-degree street version was supposed to be like a street tire. It was supposed to be for everything.
Like your weekend warrior guy, he's got an FRS that's a stock setup, and he goes out and he buys another set of wheels and he puts the whatever degree of camber he wants on those. And so when he's driving on the street, he's got a street setup, and then when he goes to autocross or for a track day, now he's got additional camber. I think was the intention.
No, this guy's intention was OEM. His intent when he designed these was that every car in the future is going to have cambered tires. It's going to get better fuel economy. It's going to get better handling. It's going to get better everything. Better 0 to 60, better 60 to 0, everything.
I think he was a bad marketer. I think is a problem.
He clearly didn't pan out.
Bad marketing. He's targeting the wrong people. I think he should have been targeting people that autocross. I think
I would agree.
That would have been his market.
Yeah. And I couldn't find any information except for a few comments here and there where people claimed that, yes, NASCAR did try this and had something similar to this, which would make sense if you're on a big oval because then you're flattened out.
Yep.
But other than that, it's just a compromise. It's just like with any other tire.
Huh. It's interesting.
And you can't
it's just the crazy things that people come up with.
Credit where it's due. It's an interesting idea.
It is. He literally reinvented the wheel.
I just think that he.
I like where your head's at, like with a good guy's autocross Camaro. It's got a solid rear axle in it. You're not going to get any camber in it. That's just the name of the game.
Yeah. You want 2 degrees of rear camber? Perfect.
Here you go. Put these tires
Fixed
on
it.
Now you got some camber. Because like I have a stick axle in the back, but since there's no axles in it,
yeah,
where the brake hub assembly bolts to the axle, you can put spacers, like beveled spacers in there to give you camber.
Yeah.
But you can't do that in like your Camaro.
Right.
So
he just went after the wrong market.
yeah.
Should have been a good guy sponsor.
Maybe he was just too early to the game.
He may have been too early to the game.
Maybe if he came out now, he might have something.
It's true. Good Guys Autocross is big business now.
It's true.
In the last couple of years. So check out Eyes Up Auto Art, EYESUP Auto Art. Basically everywhere on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Check out some of the rad stuff that he's doing. If you have a picture of your car that you would like to have a painting of, send it over to him. Just send him a DM. Dude's name is Zach. He is a rad dude, and he will he'll hook you up with some details. He'll let you know what it's going to cost to get a painting, and prices are very reasonable. His work's really good. He just did this picture of 37 Pontiac, which turned out
it's gorgeous,
super dope. It was
it's
really,
awesome.
I like that picture a lot. Whoever's getting that one, I'm incredibly jealous. He posted your GT40 again.
Yeah.
Just to mess with you.
Yeah, I think
Adam.
so.
That was specifically targeted at you.
All the
mental games.
All the Gulf Livery things.
Yep. So check it out. Like I said, his shit's pretty rad. He's a cool dude. Send him a DM.
That's what I should do. Is I should have him do my conceptual Gulf Livery on the Omni.
That would be.
He could do that if you sent. I bet if you sent him, I bet he could figure something out for you.
I have what I want it to be in a different color because somebody had made that design on a car at one point, but he made it in purple and black.
Oh, if you had something like that, I'm sure he
So
could.
I could just
he could hook
say,
it up
here's
for
the
you.
car and the
Put those colors on
scheme.
there. Yeah,
I want it Gulf. Be sick.
yeah. He could hook it up. He could hook you up too. Hit him up with that DM.
Eyes
What-
Up Auto Art.
Eyes Up Auto Art. What do we got next, Robbie? You have a
I brought drinks.
suspicious looking container
Oh, God,
over there.
I forgot about this
Hey,
so
guys.
quickly.
Michael, break out the crystal.
Got some glasses here. This is the glass because you guys are fucking heathens, so it's not crystal.
I'm good
I
with that.
trust
What
you.
is? What
here-
are you
here you
opening?
go.
What is this?
I'm handing this
shit?
to Adam.
Are you just not going to tell us?
I want you to drink.
You're
it
like
first.
very carefully keeping the label away from
I
it.
brought a
Maple.
koozie today
I
to
saw
make sure.
something-
I see the word maple on
says
it.
maple
Yeah,
on
he
it.
brought it in a koozie so that we
It stays
could.
cool that way.
Oh,
Yeah,
it looks.
that's what
It
it
looks
was.
like piss
This
again.
This
Last
looks like
time-
that banana
me.
water bullshit you gave us
Remember the-
last time.
This looks a lot like your.
For the record, the banana water costs 26 cents. This cost a lot, like $3.
It has no smell. It looks like.
I'm not even going to bother smelling it.
It looks urine-ish though. Still, it's
Oh, this is where you like hold it up and look at it through the light.
Yep. Find a light source. It's still kind of yellow.
It's called Drink Maple, organic maple water,
So what?
pure simple
Like maple
hydration.
syrup?
This is
How do you get the maple?
Is this sweet then? Like
this? This is water only taken out of maple trees.
Jesus Christ.
I walked.
What
sort
will
of-
they?
speaking-
What will they think of next?
Speaking of people
our-
coming up with crazy shit.
It's organic. It's full of.
God.
Its only ingredient is water, but somehow has. Yeah, its only ingredient is organic maple water.
So
but
you're
it has
telling
a
me-
shit ton of sugars and potassiums and
You're telling me it's
Electrolytes.
yellow because it's run through a maple tree, and this is all the bug
This
shit.
is tree piss.
This is bug shit and
It's
organic material.
Did
moss.
this come from Canada?
I think so. No. Vermont. Drink maple.
Canada
You tried
can have
it?
Vermont. No, I've been waiting for all the details.
It's
Give me
certified organic. It's got
what's,
7 grams of sugar and 30 calories.
For the
got
whole
his-
bottle?
Michael's got his chaser out already.
Yeah, I don't know.
all right. Here
All right,
goes
here
nothing.
goes nothing.
Have you had this before?
No,
Okay.
I've waited 3 weeks for this. I saw it. What do you think?
It tastes like water with sugar in it.
Is it? Oh.
Oh, that's weird.
But anyways, yeah, I was
Not bad weird,
I was
though.
walking through
It's
CVS
weird.
and I saw this. I'm like, should I bring back the stupid water annex? And I walked away. And then I walked back. And then I walked away again. And then I walked back and looked at the price and went, I better not. And then I went back and said, fuck it.
The mind of Robbie Veer.
You know what
It's
this
a
tastes like?
$3. It's almost a $4 thing of water.
And it's tiny. What is it?
insane.
12 ounces.
It's 12 ounces.
It's not bad.
You know what it tastes like? It tastes like somebody had a glass of water. They dumped a teaspoon of sugar in it, and then they stuck some bark in it. That's what it tastes like.
It's kind of has like not an aftertaste, but like an after feel.
Everything feels fuzzy now.
Feels weird now.
I don't hate it.
I think it's stupid.
It is dumb.
That's $4 worth of. I don't hate it.
Ridiculousness.
By the way,
No,
They're
it's not-
only
it's
going to sell that once as
Yeah,
a
I'm not buying
novelty.
this again.
That is not a company.
can I
that
see
will
the bottle?
Oh, of
will
course.
be
Hold on, one more drink.
long term. There's no way.
No, there's not.
It's refreshing.
It's
I
not
do
bad
not
though.
think
I don't
it's
hate
refreshing. It's made by Kate and Jeff. Less
If it
sugar
was-
than coconut water.
If it was the same price as
Oh no, not this
Water
bullshit.
Joe, I would
Yeah,
I would
naturally
drink not this
alkaline.
bullshit.
Yeah, it's natural.
Naturally
Wait, is
alkaline.
alkaline bad? Isn't that what they make batteries?
No,
out
but
of?
there's like this. There's this whole thing about pseudo nutritionists saying that you need to balance the pH of the food that you
God,
intake,
no,
God's
let's
sakes.
not. Oh,
and then
God.
so everybody's like, you need to drink and eat alkaline foods but your body regulates its pH level. I mean, like if your pH level changes by like 0.5, you're dead. So
Yeah.
anyway,
So it's basically
I like
it's a 12-ounce
pseudo nutritionist.
It's
That's
a
a great
12-ounce
term.
glass of water, and somebody put like a drip of syrup in it.
oh god, they're talking about kale on the back. That
Oh,
I'm out.
damn it! Now I'm mad. I drank it.
it's vegan and paleo. Well,
I saw it when I was at Walmart this week
Run that back
buying
there.
some food for myself because I'm bachelor in it this week. They had paleo prepped meals in the freezer section, and I felt like that was very like counter.
yeah, no, that doesn't
the
make any
whole
fucking
thing?
sense at all. Was it in plastic as well?
Yeah. No, it's,
you know,
it's
paleo-
wrapped in cardboard,
Right,
then
exactly.
saran
Yep,
wrapped
yep.
and frozen.
'Cause
It
the
said
whole- I don't know-
paleo across the front of it.
Yeah. It's a lot of bullshit out there in the world, especially when it comes to nutrition.
I almost made that my opener at one point because I thought it was so ridiculous, but I don't know enough about all that stuff. I wasn't sure that it was as ridiculous as I thought.
No, it's
was.
pretty stupid. The whole idea is that you eat the way that people ate in the Paleolithic era, but like the rules for the diet don't match what would have been available to eat during that time. So the whole thing
your
doesn't make
charming
any fucking sense.
ex-girlfriend kind of do that deal?
She made up some bullshit based on some Carrie Underwood crap.
That's well.
So she read
that's, yeah.
Is that the best way to describe it?
It's just amazing that people live their life that way. But
She
yeah,
read an article where Carrie Underwood was like, "I'm a vegan and I only eat this tofu bullshit all the time." So she thought she would just eat tofu bullshit and fish all the time. But then she would hate going to sushi. What is there left?
there's no food.
You can't
for us to eat.
You can't eat fried food. You can't eat any other good fish.
Can't eat.
It's got butter and other stuff in it because it's unhealthy that way.
My favorite memory of her was taking her to Buffalo Wild Wings and looking at the disgust on her face as we, perused the menu. It was
ridiculous.
awesome.
I got nothing.
It's frustrating.
Eat real food. Don't drink maple water.
No.
Next. What's the next topic that we have on our list, Robbie?
I did a PDX
Did you?
for the first time.
The one that we talked about but didn't talk about last time?
We teased
last
the fact
week?
that I
For
did.
those that aren't in the know, that's performance driving experience with an X.
Not PDE,
Because
because
it's
it's way more
extreme.
fucking extreme than that.
Oh, yeah, you have to use the X.
Did you buy the whole seat but only use the edge?
No, I was strapped in. It was
You
all-
Oh, were you? Okay,
used all
just
the
checking.
seat.
Just checking. He used this whole seat. That's good. That's good.
It's safe that way. It's
safer
much
that
more
way, for sure.
safer.
Much
than
safer.
this
Safer.
scenario.
I think they teach you that like day one.
Sit all the way in the seat.
All the way in the seat, strapped in. You don't want to be moving around.
It's good.
It was a lot of fun. I'll be honest. I was a little nervous because my first PDX was at the Iowa Speedway where they have the road course, and they do it all. It's basically the front straight, turns 2 and 3. Is it 2 and 3?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Duh, 1 and 2, and then it goes to the back straight, and then it goes into the road course, which is kind of like a big autocross. And I was kind of nervous about the big bank. I thought I was going to be, the 240 is not exactly slow. So when I'm going into it in fourth gear, he's like, "Yeah, you got a lot more there." I'm like, "I'm fully aware. I'm fully aware that there's a
Let me
lot."
build up to this,
Yep.
man.
The first time it doesn't feel like it though. You're like, man, I don't know about this. There's like a wall and a bunch of shit, and this is pretty steep.
Yep.
But yeah,
Do you stay down low?
No, I
Or were you riding that wall?
I kind of followed the line where I was doing the same thing the Indy guys were doing, where they'd come in and then shortly after all the signs on turn 1, then I cut in,
Come down,
and then there was a focal point that I would follow right at like the late
I believe that's an apex.
the late apex is where I would hit it, and then track back out to the wall again on the back straight. And by running in fourth gear, I was running too high RPMs and my car was too hot. So I was in fifth
You've
gear.
got 2 more gears, Rob.
Yeah, I know. Well, it sucks going into fifth gear because the synchros are out.
That's right.
So yeah,
You weren't double clutching when you should have been.
actually I was. I had to get in gear. But So the first time out, I didn't go above fourth gear, but then my temperatures were up at like 290.
Yeah.
Which is way too hot.
That's hot.
Yep. So then that also blew out all of my power steering, not all of it, but like blew the power steering fluid out of the cap.
Fun stuff.
So I had power steering fluid all over my car, which meant I had to go back through tech again to make sure that my car wasn't going to burn up. Luckily, we took some fluid out. I think it was over full, actually, and took some fluid out, and it was not an issue the rest of the way through. I researched it later. The power steering pumps on the Camaros and LS1s and stuff, apparently that spring that sits on the cap is a fail point. So it's a common fault. So we'll figure that out later. Plus, it's burned up anyways. It doesn't work half the time, which is really good for a new power steering pump.
I have power steering pump stories as well for later.
I know, we're getting there.
GM power steering pumps for the win.
Yep. So then the rest of the time, I would shift it. I would go all the way to fifth before I'd get into the bank. So I was going well over 100, which is pretty nerve-wracking on 215-inch or 215 millimeter tires. That's not a lot of grip.
Yeah.
For that much power, anyway.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Especially older ones.
Yep.
I was wondering if you were just going to man up and put the slicks on.
I would have had to have brought another car or just driven all the way to Newton on the interstate with slicks, and I really didn't want to do that.
No, that would be rough.
So
I wondered if they were going to let you run with the slicks anyway, because they don't like the novices running on race tires.
No, it
It depends on where. I don't know if DMVR cares, but some places do. Grid Life cares.
It makes sense.
Really?
Yeah, because it's, I could understand. Their claim is that, novices may not know how a race tire will react under certain conditions.
Yep.
I feel like you could say that novices wouldn't know how a tire is going to react under certain conditions on a track. It's kind of the whole point of the novice title.
I agree.
It worked out really well because they had like almost 30 cars there. And they broke it up into the first group was 6 of just novices, and the rest of the people were in the second group. So I think there was at least 20, 18 to 20 for sure. So the first group was just us and just 6 cars. It's really, really nice to learn a track when there's only a couple cars out there.
So were you the fast guy?
There was a Mustang that I was basically, we were matching lap for lap. Like him and I would just pass people. And then my instructor goes, all right, as the day goes on, I'm going to be quieter the more comfortable you get. And he really only said anything like the first session. And then he goes, I also want to get it out there so you can learn how to let point by. That never happened. Because there was, except for the Mustang, we were just lapping people. But then I also learned that when someone sticks their little finger out the window, that means they're pointing.
You mean when they rest their hand on the sill and you just the finger is sticking out of the window and you're like, what the fuck is that?
What is that?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's a point by.
Yeah. So there's somebody in the Del Sol. There's a picture of me stalking him around the corner. I posted on Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
Onto the bank.
I followed him for 3 laps because every time he'd point by, he literally stuck his finger on the windowsill. He didn't act, they teach you arm out the window, make it obvious, and get over.
Yeah, get over to the right.
No, he didn't do that.
Get off the line.
He stayed on the line and just kind of.
Yeah,
my finger.
thanks, bro.
And then every time my instructor goes, I'm pretty sure that was I think that was it. You should
go.
Fuck. Too late.
Because they only want you to do it on the straightaways, I would guess.
Yeah, you can pass on the front and back straight.
Okay.
Which is not bad. And then the only real issue I had was I was coming off the back straight. Don't know what speed I was going. Well into the hundreds in fifth gear, coming into that real tight turn, turn 4, I think is what it's called. Stuck in 5th gear. It would not pop out of 5th gear.
And that's a 35-mile-an-hour corner.
Yeah, you're going over 100.
You're going over 100.
Down to 35.
You come off the bank, you go thunk through the gutter, and then it's...
Lock.
Oh, my God, I got to stop.
Yep.
That's probably hard on brakes, that track, isn't it?
Yes.
Was it hard on your brakes?
Not so much on mine. But yeah, it's
you would think so.
I could see it not being because you have a lot of time where they can cool off.
I might have actually warped my rotors.
Oh, really?
Because when towards the end of the day, as I was slamming on to get slowed down in that turn, my steering wheel would shake.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
I think
Possibly.
they're a little bit warped. I just need new brakes now.
You can drift that off; it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be all good.
It's a drift car now. It doesn't matter.
We'll find that out next week. But yeah, so then I basically slowed down enough that I could make it through that turn and then come to a stop elsewhere and then figure out why the fuck
Get in the right gear.
The only thing I could come up with was that I jammed it into 5th and got caught on a synchro, like just mashed it all together, and then I had to like pull it apart to get it back.
It wasn't doing it every time, though?
Just did it once.
Just did it once, okay.
And it's never done it since. It never did it the rest of the sessions. It never did it on the drive home, and it's never done it since.
Gotcha.
Or it's never done it before.
So a tranny rebuild's in your future?
Well, I knew that anyways.
Yeah, but you think that'll be like your winter project this year? Since you always have
I don't know.
a
You need
winter
to tear something
project?
apart, Robbie.
I have a long list of things I would like to do, like upgrade my brakes.
Have you considered buying another car and then swapping all the other parts over to it?
That's
'Cause
all-
that
that's-
sounds like something that you would do.
That's always a thought.
You need...
I
screw this
believe that
tranny
you
rebuild
sent us
bullshit.
the one that you needed to buy.
I
Robbie.
sent him one today
I was-
to buy.
I was told
that $500 car.
that's sold in less than 8 hours.
That car.
No, really?
Fucked.
Yeah, but it's kind of
A $500
Robbie though.
a $500 240 SX shell.
That looks like an R34.
That had a KA-24 in it, so it wasn't even just a shell.
It looked,
Yeah, it was a running and driving car.
but it looks like it had the front and rear end off an R34. That's kind of Robbie.
Oh, I would have junked all that stuff.
It was so
immediately.
screwed.
Really?
Oh, my God.
Oh yeah, I would have literally stripped it down to the shell.
Oh, I figured you'd leave
No.
the R34 stuff on there. Really?
If I would have bought it, it would have been stripped down.
Huh. All right.
Oh well, what can you do?
So always next time.
I sent him a $5,000 one today, and he wasn't having that one either, so...
That's a lot. That's an extra zero. That's a significant jump.
Hey, we gave him both options, $500, $5,000. Didn't pull the trigger on either one.
for the
so
record-
Which means we have to continue going up.
I'll
right?
find you a $50,000 S15.
There's lots of them. But
God.
Jess woke up Sunday morning and I said, "Hey, how do you feel about looking at a $500 car today?" She about packed her bags and left. So we're not allowed to do that anymore until we get moved in.
Between Michael and I, we'll find a place for it.
Oh, that's all
If you
good.
need to hide a car,
Well,
just let us know.
I got places. It's all good.
Okay.
I got places. That sounded really sketchy.
Real sketchy. I got places.
I know,
hide
I got
cars.
places I can hide
I
shit.
can make a phone call.
Okay. Good to know, Robbie. Thank you.
Yeah. But the PDX was a lot of fun. I want to do more track days, obviously.
10 out of 10 would do it again.
Oh yeah. And my instructor was very helpful. Told me what I was doing wrong.
Is it anybody we know? I didn't.
Dan, I can't think of his last name right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was Yo. He yelled at me.
And an old guy.
But he and an old guy that race spec Miata, and he was being very ginger about the whole experience. And then Yo got in the car and he yelled at me a bunch.
Oh.
And he was more helpful.
He
too,
was way more
because
helpful.
Yo knew,
He's like, go, 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 go. It's like, Jesus, Yo, calm down.
Yo knew how to handle you.
Yep.
Though. That was the thing.
More. Go faster.
Yeah, we didn't push it at all. Like, because, yeah, you guys asked if I was going to time it, and I had no interest in timing it. I just literally wanted
Did they
to
have
know
the
what-
timing option? Could you bought the timing package?
I think I could have.
Okay.
Because that was the same weekend as the club race.
Yes.
Did you see any club racing in the morning before you started?
Yeah, there was one guy by himself. It was like not a Spec V, but like one of those indie looking cars.
The Formula Atlantic?
Was it? Was it?
Was
a
it the
Formula One?
really fast one?
I don't know. I couldn't compare him to anything. It was by himself.
Was he doing really fast laps, though?
He did 16 laps by himself. I don't know. It wasn't.
Well, I mean, you can still
Insane.
Robbie,
gauge,
why didn't you have your stopwatch out timing him? Get your
you can
shit
still
together.
gauge
This is
speed off of it. I mean,
bad,
he was
bad
quick.
journalism.
I know when we were there a few years ago, there was a Formula Atlantic there, and he likes bringing it out there because he can stretch it out and he can do corner 1 and 2 flat,
Jeez.
and he likes to bring it there and do that.
No, this guy was literally just qualifying for nationals. It's like he just needed 16 laps and they went home.
Yeah, because you got to run so many regionals to get
Yep.
runoffs points.
And then they had the endurance races for the Miatas.
I know all these things because Jabay tells me on Slip Angle.
I understand.
That's where I learn all these
Is
things.
that a podcast?
That's what I've been told.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't recommend it. I would definitely just stay here and keep listening.
Yeah,
to
for
this
sure don't switch. Put the iTunes down. Good times.
Yep. But he was very complimentary. Said I did well, especially for my first time, and given the fact that we were not pushing the car to the limits.
Was he afraid of the car when he first saw it? Was he like, this is gonna we're
but
gonna die.
I'm sure one of his first thoughts was this guy's gonna overdrive.
We're gonna
That
be in a
fucking
giant
ricer with a
smoking
V8 in
circle.
it. This is gonna
I'm
go
gonna have to
bad.
dial this back. I'm too cautious. I babied into it. I fully admit that.
That's good though.
Yeah,
It's a good way to approach it.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do is slide my car into the wall because he said, well, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but somebody took a $200,000 like track spec Camaro or something and just wrecked.
Oh, that was
Neat.
a pro touring car.
Thank you.
It was a pro touring build.
Yep, and he wrecked it.
he showed up with like a multi-car hauler, enclosed hauler, and multiple cars, and slid his $200,000 Pro Touring Camaro into the wall.
When you got the money, I guess.
Should have stuck to Good Guys Autocross, I
when
guess.
you got the money.
Yep. So, more track days, please.
Okay, we could have done a track day on Sunday, but we're drifting on
Saturday.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you couldn't do the track day on Sunday.
I have no intentions of having tires, rear ends, transmissions, all that shit's going out the window on Saturday. Fuck it. I'm going to fucking send it.
Send it.
Do it for Dale.
There it is. God damn it. Ugh.
So, you have an update.
I do. Well, first of all, we should talk about X Games.
Okay.
So I went to X Games.
I'm excited to talk
2
X
weekends
Games.
ago. Was it 2 weekends ago now?
Yes, it was.
2 weekends ago now. I wasn't going to go. My buddy Chris hit me up, and he's like, hey, I won this contest for Hy-Vee and Monster, and they're paying for me and one other person to do the whole X Games experience on what they call an XIP ticket. So I was like, yeah, I don't really know. It sounds cool and everything, but I was like, I got shit I should probably do. And then finally, like 2 days before, I was like, fuck it, I'll go. And so I didn't realize what this was. I was just like, oh, cool, we'll get like, some food or whatever, and this will be neat, get in for free. Nah, it was like a whole fucking thing. So it's at the US Bank Stadium, which is brand new as of last year, which is one reason they moved it here, is because it kept raining in Austin when they wanted to do stuff, and that was really screwing their schedule.
So they moved it to Minneapolis?
Indoors.
It's indoors.
Oh, okay.
The new
I was going to
huge
say,
football
because it
stadium.
never rains in Minnesota over Texas.
Yeah, it's a 70,000 seat brand new facility. It's really nice.
Yeah.
There's like a tennis team or something that plays. I don't know. It's called the Vikings. Never heard of it.
Oh, okay.
But
Wow, yeah.
it's, I don't know.
I think they throw balls through hoops.
Rugby.
For God's sakes.
I don't know.
The Minnesota
Sports ball.
Vikings play in the US Bank Stadium, and then the Minnesota Timberwolves play basketball in the Staples. No, it's not the Staples Center because that's Los Angeles. What's this? Target Center. Basketball. Football.
I have
Go
no
back.
idea, Robbie.
You were in the football stadium.
Yep, sure. That sounds good. And so basically our XIP ticket it's a VIP ticket minus like we weren't full blown VIP, so we couldn't go like hang out with celebrities, but we had our own entrance and we had our own area where we could basically all of our food was catered, all of our booze and all our drinks and all that stuff, and there's Monster everywhere. Obviously all that was free. Our hotel, our suite at the Hilton was comped. All that stuff was paid for. There was Monster
Damn, I didn't realize
refrigerators.
the hotel was comped and everything.
They gave us cash because we drove, so we had cash.
Holy cow.
We had a different entrance in like a different area at the concerts. And that was the only time we had to pay for anything was at the concert, but they gave us cash for the bar. And we have separate bathrooms and everything, and like it was just crazy. So it was
That
this really
sounds like
weird,
a bad deal.
yeah, it was this really weird experience. And I was looking into it. I was like, how much is this stupid ticket? And I was like, $750 for the 2 tickets. And I was like, okay, so if you were really into this, and all your booze and all your food and everything was going to be covered for the weekend for
Housing,
for 2 people.
housing's...
Well, that wasn't that. That was
Oh.
just the ticket to get in.
Once you're in the stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, I could kind of get that. Like, if you and a friend wanted to go and blow it out for a weekend, and this is your thing, like, I could justify $750 for 2 tickets. That was for 1 ticket.
Ooh.
Oh, so it's a
Oh.
$1,500 set
Oh.
of tickets. So I was like, we'll never be doing this again ever unless somebody pays for me to do this.
Chris is apparently a good guy to have as a friend. 'Cause he's
Apparently.
also the one that got you into IndyCar last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, because
Into the VIP area.
he
at
offered
Indy.
he offered that again to me there was the weekend before that, and I couldn't do it. But yeah, he was like, oh yeah, they changed it, like they had better food and more booze and all this. I was like, Jesus Christ. So yeah.
At Indy?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Chris has the hookup on stuff. But,
Apparently.
Wow.
so anyway, that was a whole deal. I think I came out net ahead after the weekend, which was weird, and I had to drive up there. But yeah, the rest of the experience was pretty sweet. I mean, that's not really, like, I don't really know anything that was going on,
Right.
but they had one of the really cool things that they do is the step up.
Step Up is one of my
Motocross.
favorite things to watch.
Step up is fucking sick, and those guys are literally insane.
Yeah.
There's no explanation
No.
for that other than being a masochist, because you literally jump up 40 feet straight up in the air and you come down directly on your spine. I mean, that's basically
Yeah, for
Well,
those
it looks awesome.
For those that don't know, it's a motocross event where they literally go like, was it 20 feet to a jump, and then they go straight up and see who can jump the highest.
It's a high jump, but they come straight. There's not like a
Nope.
like a
Straight
pad.
down.
You just bang.
However you land,
It's
you
at
land.
it's at a bank, angle.
Yeah, but it doesn't help any.
No, you're
you don't
landing flat.
You don't come down on your front tire and then ride it out. You come almost straight down on that bank.
It's not like high school high jump where you're landing into a big pillow.
No, you jump 90 degrees up or 89 degrees up, and then you go like a foot over and then drop.
Yep, and they're trying to twist the bike so it comes up over sideways, and then try to get the nose down so they can get back on top of the bike again, and it's this whole deal. But yeah, the one dude did it. It was literally like, I think it was 44 feet.
Jeez.
44 feet up. I mean, literally, you could put a bike on a parking garage that's 4 stories up and just drive it straight off the edge. It would have been the same thing. And literally, one guy had to stop. Like, he was getting ready to go, and he went, nope, I am broken.
I'm done.
My body says no.
It's good to know
I'm
your
not
boundaries.
doing this. Like, I think he was the champion from last year or a couple years ago. So, like, everybody's like anticipating he's like, no, we're not doing this.
I'm out of this.
Yeah.
This is
because he launched once, and it's in the rules that as long as you don't leave the ground, you can
do it again.
Yeah, so they were like, well, maybe he got a bad start or whatever, and I think he had a bad start because he was hurting so bad, and then he just said, nope, pack it up.
Probably a smart choice.
Yep. So
44 feet.
Yeah, it's a long ways up. So that's sick. All the motocross stuff's pretty sweet. The BMX stuff's pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean, it's just a cool weekend. They do that. They do like a big trick finale thing for the BMX. That was pretty sick to watch. I think that was on Sunday. And then they do like a motocross big trick. And they do skateboarding, but it doesn't seem like it's as big of a deal.
Not anymore.
And maybe it was more popular like when the Tony Hawk games were out and it was a big deal.
So, they do a lot of their own stuff too, the street tour and stuff like that.
That's true. So I don't know what the deal with that was really, but there was fewer events and they were kind of smaller and they made less of a big deal out of them because like the Moto X Big Trick finale was a big fucking deal. It was on Saturday. It was this whole deal, and then the BMX Big Trick was a big deal, and they do the BMX. I think they just call it the long jump. I can't remember how many feet. The total distance of the ramp and everything, the ramp and then the quarter pipe is like 300 feet.
It's a mega ramp.
Yeah. So you jump off.
Like Nitro Circus.
Yep, exactly. And then you go, once you do your trick and then you land and then you go up a quarter pipe that's 25 feet or something like that.
Yep. Yeah.
Do another trick and then you're done.
If there's any one thing in the world that Robbie probably wishes he could have done on rollerblades, 100% the mega ramp.
Yep. If I could.
Why is that? Just because it's sweet?
Yeah, I've always wanted to.
Robbie was like the first, like that'd be the first thing we'd go to a park and he'd find the biggest ramp and he'd huck himself over it, just like and then he'd like be upside down on purpose and crazy shit.
You start the day by doing the biggest ramp and then you do a flip and then I'm set to go. I'm feeling.
You can do whatever you want for the rest of the day. You
Yep.
can practice stuff.
Do backflip, okay?
Yep, that's the fastest way to clear out a skate park.
Do a backflip.
Yeah, if we would show
Then
up
you
to
have the park the rest of the day.
Yep, if we show up to a skate park and everyone's like fucking fruit booters on the rollerblades, I go and do a flip and they're like, oh, okay, they know what they're doing. Yeah, get out of my way.
Go find the biggest gap you can jump over.
Clear it.
Do it. People leave you alone the rest of the day.
Yeah, like in the rollerblading community, if you do like a really impressive grind and like a techie trick, that gets respect. But they have anyone that doesn't have a clue, like the guys that are skateboarding, like the kids that are there, stuff like that. If you want to clear a skateboard, just do a flip.
Fair enough.
That's why Robbie always beat me in competitions.
Because he could do backflips.
Yep.
People would dig that.
Especially like before we really knew each other. I had a larger trick vocabulary than he did for sure.
Oh yeah.
But he'd always beat me because he'd do flips. And you'd have skateboarders judging it, and they don't know what I'm doing, but they know what a flip is.
Rad. Here's some points.
Basically.
So anyway, like I said, I had no idea what was going on, but I had free booze, and thanks Monster Energy.
Was it like Grid Lifestyle music? Or what was the concert?
They had
anybody we know, or are they just like house
Yeah,
music?
one was like house music, and the other one was it A Day to Remember? I think it was A Day to Remember.
That'd be a good show.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah. So, but they were like real short. They were like 45 minutes. It was weird.
Oh,
Like
really?
if you showed up late, you missed it.
Huh.
It's kind of weird. I'm sure they had like a sound curfew because that was outside.
Oh.
That wasn't inside. So they'd set up an outside stage. You'd go do that, and then, you had to disperse. Beat a nerd. So
Robbie's
we had a
pounding his
shuttle.
maple water.
I see that.
It's $3. You can't
spent a lot of money.
Yeah, he's not going to
throw
waste
that
it. He's
away.
too Dutch for that. So that's kind of the extent of my weekend. It was pretty sick. Took some pictures. Yeah. Had some really great seats. Pictures. Had that whole box thing, whatever it was, with the food and the booze and
they're called suites.
Hanging out. It was pretty sick.
That would have been a lot of fun. I was super jelly on that one.
It was fun, even though it wasn't my wheelhouse. But
when you said you were going to X Games, I was like, the fuck is he? Why is he spending money on X Games tickets?
You didn't.
I didn't.
Now, because you never, I mean, you said that you were going with Chris, but you never really explained anything beyond that. And I was like, what's he doing spending money on X Game tickets?
Yeah, that Monster Energy hookup.
I guess.
That's just all there is to it.
They shut us down for sponsorship once.
Did they?
Yeah, I sent that email.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Said, get out of here.
They told us to beat it there as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Oh, well.
What's up next, Robbie?
Your RX-7's alive.
It is alive. I drove it very fast. It's very scary.
All the way to 60.
To be fair.
All the way to 55?
All the way to 55 miles an hour, and it was very terrifying at 55 in fourth gear. I'll tell you that right now. But, so I got it out. I was like, I'm going to get this car down because it's almost done anyway. So I went down to the shop on Saturday, buttoned up a couple like little tiny things like zip tying some stuff to things so it doesn't fall off.
Roadkill.
Go to pull out of the garage. The power steering rack explodes. I mean, just sprays power steering fluid everywhere. It's like, son of a bitch, really? So pull it back in the shop. It blew a seal out of the rack, so the rack's screwed. That thing, there's not any way to fix that. Those stupid GM power steering pumps make like 1 billion PSI, I assume.
Yes.
Because I don't know what it is. They just blow up everything, and that's what everybody says. They just like make way too much power, and they make a pressure reducing valve for them, but I didn't have it, and I didn't know that until I blew everything up.
Hindsight.
Yeah, right. They do that for the 240s. Everyone complains that if you don't have that orifice or that valve, you have absolutely no feedback. It's just freewheeling.
Oh, because there's so much pressure in that rack?
It's so much pressure, you just spin the wheel with one finger.
I can't report on whether or not that's true because it just immediately blew it up.
Didn't you blow up a master cylinder too?
Yeah, I blew up a clutch master cylinder.
Yeah, that was like months ago.
Yeah, I'm hard on stuff. That's in. That was fixed. So the rack blew up, so I was like, what in the fuck am I going to do now? So I was like, okay, if I can put in a power steering delete kit, because you can't, the way the belt routes, you can't take it out and then put in a shorter belt, because that was my first option. Okay, that's not an option. Nobody makes a power steering delete for an LT1 because they're all in B bodies and like 4,000-pound Camaros and stuff, and you're just like, okay, so that's not an option. The other option is called deveining the pump.
Making it worthless.
Right, so you basically what you do is you take the pump apart. You take the pump apart.
Did you have a spare?
No. Dude, I was like, this weekend, I was like, this fucking car is not winning this weekend. I was like, fuck this car. I'm finishing it. So took the pump apart, pulled the vanes out of the housing, the part that actually creates the pressure, took that out, reassembled the pump. The other complaint was after you do that is that you burn the pump out because there's no fluid in it. So currently I have a hydraulically cooled belt tensioner is what I have because I left the reservoir for the pump hooked up
and then just looped it.
So I took the inlet to the pump comes off the reservoir and then the outlet for the pump goes back into the reservoir. It doesn't do anything, but it's got fluid in it, so it should create lubrication.
Hydraulically cooled
and
that's amazing.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck you, power steering pump. So I got that put back together. I go to drive it. I don't know. This might be Sunday now. I'm like, all right, I'm going to drive the car. It's going to be great. So I'm kind of driving the car around, fucking around with it. I realized I've got a cooling issue, which is just I needed to put a bigger fuse in the fan, so I fixed that. Take it out. I'm driving it responsibly on a public road.
Of course.
Come back in, put it on the lift because I'm going to build a aluminum plate to drive more air through the actual radiator instead of it coming through the front grille and then going underneath the car. So I wanted to create a diffuser of sorts there. I ended up doing that eventually. But I'm underneath the car, and the whole gas tank's covered in fluid. It's like, fucking thing's leaking gas. And I go to touch it, and it's gear fluid.
Oh, no.
It's like, motherfucker, what is this now? So I'm looking at the rear end, and I see that the driver's side axle is sticking out a little bit of the diff. It's like, okay. So I take that whole assembly apart, pull the axle out, And the way that the axle works on that car is that it has a spline that goes into the diff, and then it has a 4-bolt coupling, and then that attaches to the actual axle. So it's got a stub shaft that comes out that's basically just a spline with a plate with 4 bolts on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just a spline that goes straight into the differential. It's got 4 plates on it. You attach or 4 bolts, you attach your axle. So I pull that out, comes out a little bit too easily. And I'm like, oh, okay, so what's happened is it, for whatever reason, it didn't get slipped in correctly and have the retainer clip it in and keep it from blowing out. Trying to put it back in, try putting it back in with a dead blow hammer. It's like, what the fuck? So I'm looking at it. And what I see is that when I was out test driving it, the last portion of it that's, half an inch between the end of it and the retainer clip is twisted. It's like,
Jesus.
So I'm looking at it, and we're talking about the splines on it are like 0.5 millimeter off. It's like, this motherfucking car's not going to win this weekend. So what I did is I put it...
You can just get RX-7 axles at a parts store.
Well, I found the part. It was $130, which, okay. But it was from a shop I'd never heard of, and I had no idea when I was going to get it. And they claimed they had 998 of them in stock.
That's
not buying
bullshit.
that. There's no way.
Okay, so I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm going to fix this. So I put it in... So I've got a bench grinder. Wait, no, it gets better. It gets better. No, hang with me. So what I did is, so the spline is like 6 inches. So you got 6 inches of contact. So what I did is that last 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch, all it really does is hold the retainer clip, and that was the part that was bent. So what I started doing, and this took like 2 or 3 hours, is I started filing it with a diamond file.
Yes.
To try to
Straighten the grooves out
yeah.
to line them back up again?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
And then, seriously spent like 2 hours on that. That didn't work exactly. So then I took it to the bench grinder, and I beveled it at 45 degrees. So the very end of the spline, I put it in the bench grinder and spun it through and just beveled the edge of it by 45 degrees, and it was enough to get rid of enough material that I could slip it back into the differential again. So on the left side, I've got 5.5 inches worth of, or 5 3/4 inches of contact instead of the 6 inches of spline contact.
Are you sure that it's doing its thing?
Oh yeah, it is.
You do some 11s?
Yeah, I made sure that retainer clip popped when I put it back in, but
Jesus
fuck you, RX-7.
So then you took it out and test drove it, and it's all good now?
Yep, it's all good. I had to replace the starter, which wasn't a big deal. Put that clutch master cylinder in, built that plate to push some of the air through the radiator. Put in what else did I do? I put in the oil pressure gauge just to make sure. Made sure the temp gauge was reading correctly. Did the whole danger to the manifold thing, driving around with the laptop, checking shit because all my gauges don't work.
Track car.
Bah, I'll fix them eventually.
Yeah, it's all good.
Holy shit.
I just want to go drifting on Saturday.
And
I
will.
wanted to say, fuck you, white car. You will not win anymore. And I'd watched maybe 1 or 2 mini roadkill episodes in the last week, and I was like, I spent exactly $0 on that car this weekend.
That a boy.
I was like, well, besides the starter, but because it wouldn't hot restart. But I was like, no, fuck you. I'm not. No, this shit's going back together.
You are going drifting.
We are done with this.
It's about how I feel with my Omni. I get it.
So I would challenge anybody who's done something weirder, or probably
I'm sure
weirder.
There's lots of things.
But I would like to hear somebody tell me of something weirder they've done than file splines on an axle.
Yeah, I'd like to hear about that.
It sounds super sketchy. I hope it holds. I really do.
Right.
No, it's not anywhere near enough power. The thing that's going to break is the actual.
Because you said the axles are weak, aren't they? Like
No,
that was
As a fail point.
The thing I'll break is the diff for sure, because it's already a little sketchy. So that's why I was like, I'm just gonna fucking send it, do it for Dale, slap this shit back together.
we talked about that before we started this show. I knew he was gonna drop it.
And I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna put this back together, because the thing that's gonna break is gonna be the LSD. That's I'm probably gonna blow that up before I break an axle or anything goes wrong with this blind connection. That's the thing that's going to break. So that's because it jerks. When you engage it, when you put power to it, it locks up hard.
Oh,
So the clutch packs in it that are going out.
okay.
So send
That'd
it.
be all right.
Fuck
That's a
it.
clutch style one.
That one is, yeah. I haven't had that one apart, but I'm pretty sure that one's a clutch style.
Okay.
If it's the year that I think it is, because they changed them at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the S4 and the S5 are different. Not really sure why, but
Then you're just running the startup tune.
no, I had a legit.
Did you?
I had a guy do a tune for me.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it was
like-
remote.
Ah, nice.
So I'm gonna drift it this weekend. I'll send him the data files because he said he'd retune it again.
Perfect.
But it's safe. It's not gonna.
Yeah, it's a conservative tune.
Yeah,
I would
it's
imagine.
definitely a conservative tune.
And it's
he
fast enough already. You got to
I
scare
had a
yourself.
slow car, yeah, because I've had a slow car and it's got sketchy tires on it right now. Because I was like, well, I'm not going to buy new tires because I'm going drifting, so I'm going to
Right.
get some sketchy tires. So I put the sketchy tires on the 5 Zygon wheels, if that's even how you say that, and
Right, yeah.
they're 255s, and it was still sketchy. It's like, man,
That's how Robbie feels.
it's just too. It's just like, wow,
I'm all over the place.
it feels faster than your car when you had the 7-cylinder thing going on. So
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
You haven't been in his since?
No, but I'm sure that's what it feels like. It's like, okay. It's quick.
Nice.
This is
I bet it's got to be similar power. I would imagine.
They're probably similar weight, too, aren't they?
Yeah,
mine's 20. What's yours? 20.
728.
Yep, that's what
I'd say
mine
we
is.
got to be sitting about the same situation.
Yep,
I would
and
guess your
ripped-
shell's probably a little bit lighter,
probably.
but your motor's a little bit heavier.
Yep, yeah, probably 100
Yeah, so
pounds
I'd-
heavier.
yeah, I'd say
and I
about-
ripped the carpet out, and I don't have much of an exhaust, which makes it like louder and hotter and like scarier in general.
More drifty, though.
It's definitely more drifty. I don't have front carpet. I have rear
Yeah,
carpet,
yeah.
but I ripped the front carpet out because I was like, meh.
Yeah.
Probably smelled funky or something.
Yeah, I've been sitting in somebody's backyard, so I was like, I'm just gonna take this out. It was getting in the way of me wiring, actually, so I took a knife to it. I
Happens.
had shit to do. Get it done.
I understand.
Send it. What's next?
You got passenger seats in it and all that?
Fuck yeah.
Excellent.
Got those Corbos in it. I
I'm
need to
super
get
excited for this.
this
weekend.
winter. I'm gonna put a cage in it, but
Nice.
for now, I got.
Just going to buy a bolt in or something?
Now you make one.
There's a guy in Chicago that makes
Yeah,
that pre-cuts the pieces.
it's Rhodes.
So I don't know if I'm going to
something.
look into that or
Oh, then you weld it in?
Yep.
Okay.
and have the guys. It's not How. How's the names? The guys in Indianola have them welded in, but we'll see.
Yeah, I've looked at that one too.
Yeah, because you don't have one either, do you?
No.
Forgot that you don't have one.
Nope.
Keep thinking that you do. So I just did seat belts, but it's those same Corbos that you have.
Yep.
So all I did is looped the side that attaches to the outside frame, like for the driver's side, so it'd be the left side. I looped it through the seat, and so then you just thread your buckle through the other hole
The other
on the
hole
right
where
side.
where the
It's
lap belts
your-
are supposed to come through
You're in there
for the
Not-
5-point.
Not worried about that. You're definitely
I love those seats. They're surprisingly comfy for being a fixed back racing seat.
yeah.
Nice.
What's next, Robbie?
Do we have time before going to the
You want to
news?
do your old man rant before we
Yeah,
move on to
I have
the-
a couple of quick
move on to the
ones.
news?
Apparently, it's going to be Robbie complains like an asshole. So, I've been trying to cut back on expenses, and I decided that XM radio was not one of the expenses I wanted. I'm also cutting out cable because I'm not like
I
you.
forgot that you had cable.
Yeah, so I have cable, so I'm getting rid of that, and then I also got rid of XM radio. And also, as another reason to get rid of XM radio is because they basically took away the only reason I had it.
Is he done?
Yes.
I thought he had his
Jason
show
Ellis
on.
is Gandhi.
I thought he had his show on Faction Talk. or
Faction
whatever it's
Talk
called.
on Channel 103.
Supposedly has commercials, which is completely fucking useless.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you would pay to listen to something that has
I don't
commercials on it.
But anyways, so they changed Faction from Faction to Guns N' Roses Radio,
Which is the
which is
dumbest shit
the
I've ever heard in my
absolute
life.
So is it
worst.
just Guns N' Roses 24 hours
It's just
a day?
Some other shit like that too, though.
Oh, it'd probably be the greatest
So
channel
then-
ever.
So it's a terrible channel because I keep accidentally switching to it because it's on my favorites.
Yeah.
And it's just Axl Rose screaming all the time.
Yep. And it sounds like Sirius XM and Jason Ellis are kind of at each other's throats, and it's
No.
not looking good.
Jason Ellis being...
Vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does his Ellistronics podcast or whatever they recalled it. Now it's a different name, but
It's making fun of Guns N' Roses, isn't it? Isn't it called
Podley Crew. or
Podley
something.
Crew?
Yeah, it's the Podley Crew. So I can.
Motley Crue,
Oh my
sorry,
God, I
not Guns
love
N'
it.
Roses, but yeah,
love it.
Podley Crew, and they have like the '80s hairband wig, you know
Yep,
what I mean, where it's
yep.
like the ultimate mullet, where it's like the spiky hair on the front, and then the long hair in the
Right,
back.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. So, anyways, I can still listen to that. And I said, to hell with XM radio. I'm just going to save that money. So I call their customer service line and I say, I would like to cancel my subscription effective now. Oh, well, then they go, okay, hold on. How about I give you this 50% off for the next year or whatever. So if note to anyone that has XM radio or wants XM radio,
Threaten to cancel.
Every time your subscription's about up, they'll give you 50% off. First thing they do. And I said, no, I don't want that. I literally just want you to cancel it. All right, hold on. He puts me on hold so we can go and get the air quote paperwork and all that stuff. Then comes back, he goes, okay, how about I can do this? I can offer you 6 months for whatever. I'm like, no, I literally, I'm done. I want it to be done. Well, can you tell us why? And I listed off the number of reasons. Like, I literally just bought my dream house. I don't want to have any more expenses. I stretched my dollar to make this house happen. I'm trying to save money. And they go, oh, okay. Then he lied to me and told me that the Guns N' Roses radio was a temporary thing and that Jason Ellis will be back next week.
Told me that too when I called him because I was pissed.
Yep.
So fuck you guys.
I love
this
that both
fucking
of you guys
Guns N' Roses bullshit.
Yep. So for the record, they're not back. It's been a week. So then he puts me on hold again to try to get me like a better deal to get me to stay. And he goes, how about this? If you re-up for the rest of the year, you'll still get a refund of like $20. So you get, 6 months for free. Of course, it would obviously renew. And I said, no, I literally just want my refund and I want it to be over.
How much is it? I don't even know.
It's like $200 a year.
Oh, you were paying that much?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not
fuck
paying that
that.
much.
Yeah,
I think
it's
I'm
a
paying
lot.
$10 a month.
Yeah,
That's a little more reasonable.
But
it was more than that.
To get the package to listen to Jason Ellis, you had to pay more.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
I said I was done. And he then put me on hold again. I think he put me on a hold 4 times, and it was obviously just putting me on hold to make me wait, thinking that
Which is definitely going to help.
Yep.
How
Close a
angry
sale.
you are. Yeah.
It got to the point that no matter what offer, he could have offered me for the next 5 years for $5. I was so fed up with XM customer service. There's no fucking way I would have stayed.
They were just hoping you'd hang up
Yes.
and not call back.
They put me on hold for like 3 minutes. I was on customer service or on phone. I was online with them for almost 20 minutes before I finally got my confirmation email that said you are done. So fuck you, XM Radio, and your customer service.
Damn.
Another company that will not sponsor this show.
No,
We're not
As
going
of
to
right
we're not
now.
going to be
But if-
XM syndicated anytime
no.
soon.
But if you guys listen to XM Radio and you don't want to pay full price, I assume this isn't a secret, but
Yeah, somebody else told me that too. If you call and complain.
always call in and say I'm thinking about quitting. They'll automatically give you half off.
So the reason I knew XM was a screwed up business is because when I got the Trailblazer, I called them and I said, I just need to transfer from my Veloster to the car that I just bought. And they're like, oh, okay, sounds good. Do the thing. All right, we did that. And you get 3 months for free. I was like, yeah, but why? Like, I'm not arguing with you, but can you explain to me? Can you explain to me in what realm that makes any fucking sense for you to give me 3 months for free because I bought a different car?
Because they
Just
charge
for
you
being a
they
great
charge you $15
customer.
to transfer.
No, it was all free. It was
Was
all
it?
taken. Yeah, and they're just like, oh, this is something we do. I'm like,
That's not true.
doesn't make any sense.
Every time I've transferred, they charge me
What?
$15.
Oh no,
Uh-huh.
no, that didn't
Every
happen.
time.
That's the other problem with XM is that you get different things when you call at different
That's that
times.
way
and-
with all those places.
man, that's weird.
XM or
Yeah.
any major cable or satellite.
Well, let me talk to
provider.
my supervisor. Liar. He just put me on hold.
Because that's helping
weird.
your cause.
Yeah.
Makes me
Weird
really want
stuff.
to stay.
So
that-
more money for race cars instead of
Did you have any
XM
other
radio.
old man rants? That
I do.
Okay, continue.
Well, I bought rims and tires this like a month ago, and they have basically brand new Blizzaks on them. One of the 4 has a big cut in the sidewall, so I have to get a new tire. I'm like, well, I need something that's going to kind of match the tread pattern and have the same newness as these Blizzaks.
Because you're going to drift on them.
Because I'm going to drift on them. I want to at least have them somewhat similar heights and everything. So I'm like, well, I'm going to go to Walmart. I need a tire today. I need it the cheapest tire I can fucking find. So I'm like, okay, I looked at the prices. Walmart has them in stock cheap. So I called them and I said, hey, I realize you close in an hour. I need the cheapest 225, 45, 17 you have. What car? No, it doesn't matter. I'm taking one rim in. I'm literally taking you one rim. That's all you need. No, what car? I can see how this is going to go.
After you talk to XM, so were you like fired up and like
no, this is
burning the world down?
This is days later. So I'm like, all right, it's a Nissan 240SX. All right, then we go through the whole rigmarole of what year it is, what chassis, everything, just like
manual or automatic.
Yep.
That came with 16s, Robbie, not 17s.
Yep. So he was real. Yep,
Sir,
that.
Are you sure that's what you want?
Yep. So we go back and forth for a while. And then he goes, okay, I can give you that one for like $70 or something. And I can get you these. And they're, he listed off the reason why I could get that one. I'm like, is that the cheapest tire in that size that you have? And he kind of paused. No, but I can't give you those because your car is rated for this speed. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's going on a drift car. I cannot stress that enough.
Did you say that
Did
to
you
him?
tell him
Yes.
that?
Oh, that was too much information.
I told
you
him,
can't do that.
I told him these are going on a drift car. I literally want the cheapest 225s you have.
I'm
going to
turn these into noise and smoke. It doesn't matter.
And then he wouldn't listen to me. He goes, I have to give you a rated V or whatever tire. I cannot put it in the
He
system.
probably does, though.
I'm sure the
It's his
system.
own fault because he asked.
Yep.
But he probably has to. He probably has no choice. The software that he goes
probably
through
doesn't have a choice.
I should have researched.
no choice to him.
I should have picked like a fucking hybrid Prius or something. Just I'm driving a Prius. Give me the slowest fucking tire you got. I don't care. I literally told him this is gonna last all of 20 minutes. I just need the tire to last 20 minutes. That's it. Give me the cheapest thing you got. Spent $100. I got to the point where I'm like, you know what? Just put whatever.
$400, whatever. Just give me a tire.
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Just put
I'm tired of you and your shit.
whatever tire you have, just put it on.
Put a tire on a wheel. I just want to leave.
Yep. So that's my complaint. Like, obviously, it's my own fault. I went to Walmart where they're handcuffed by their system. They had to do what their computer told them to do, and he wasn't going to listen to anything.
Yeah, but they sell like Korean tires and shit there. You thought you could have... I understand the reasoning.
I priced it out, and I should have only spent $70 total. Like, mounted, balance.
Super cheap. Yeah.
Oh.
Damn, that's a cheap tire.
Yeah, but I spent $103 for a tire mounted and balanced.
How much is mounting and balancing?
Like $10 or $12 or something.
Damn, I should start taking my tires to Walmart.
It's the only.
I won't
taken.
do it. I won't. Calm down,
no,
everybody. I'm not doing that.
I have taken tires to Walmart to have them changed, and I literally take them in and I say, "This is a wheel and this is a tire, and what you're going to do is you're going to put it on that machine. And you're going to make it one thing. Okay? Put this
Wait, what?
and this
You can do
together, and don't ask any
sir,
questions.
I need the car.
If you ask a question, I swear to God."
I thought for sure Walmart would be quick, easy. I could actually get groceries while I was there.
I've done it, though. I understand.
Tires is the only thing I thought I could trust Walmart with. And I mean, they did. It's fine. It's all good.
Never buy anything that plugs into the wall from Walmart.
Nope. I wouldn't get any mechanic works done, but like getting tires, I thought no problem.
See,
I could walk in and tell you what I want, and you'll get it for me.
Tires, especially tires you're going to purposely burn up.
Yes. I mean, granted, they're the second cheapest tire I could have put on it. So I mean, I literally only lost $20. So it's not the end of the world. It's just kind of annoying that
But you knocked like 3 years off your lifespan.
Yeah, frustration, man.
Yeah.
Have you gone to O'Reilly's to buy parts for the 240
Oh,
yet?
I have an O'Reilly story that now that we're at this, I'm going to tell it. So,
But have you been there yet?
No, I go to Advance here in town, and they're really helpful.
Oh, okay. Because
They listen to me when I tell them. I'm like,
Okay.
I have a Nissan 240SX. Okay, no.
with an LS,
Not done yet.
I have an LS1 out of a '98 Camaro. Okay.
You good? Now
Are we on the same page now?
Now go.
Now we can start looking for
That's
parts.
the best.
They listen.
That's why I go to Arnold's. I won't go anywhere else anymore. I'm done with
no.
all of those places. I can't buy parts on Sundays because of it, but I will not set foot in those places anymore. Because I go to Arnold's. Like I went to Arnold's to buy a coil for the Omni. Walk in there, I said, need a coil for an 84 Omni. All right, give me 2 minutes. Went back there, brought it back up, opened it up. Does this look right? Yep, that's right. All right, $12. Thank you.
Moving on.
He didn't ask me if it's a manual or a 4-door or a 2-door or an automatic or none of that stuff matters because the coil is the fucking same at Arnold's. It's the way it should be.
Well, yeah, they understand that though.
Yeah, I've had really good luck with Arnold's always because they had a machine shop in your hometown that I had my crank
my dad
done.
uses that guy religiously.
Yep.
I know
Very good
many
work.
people around there that use that guy religiously.
Yep.
He got like hurt or had some medical thing, and like there was this rumor that he was quitting, and people were losing their goddamn minds.
Who am I going to get work from?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I bought a starter for a 95 Caprice this week.
Yep.
I went into
What's this for? Wait, just hold on a second.
Let me think.
It's
Let me
for
think.
it's for a 88 RX-7 Turbo 2, and yeah, that's what I do when I go into.
Yeah, this Arnold's or not Arnold's Advance has to think I own like 6 different cars because I bought car parts for my sister's car the other day to replace all the rotors and stuff. I bought Camaro parts. Then I accidentally got the year wrong and got a 2002 Camaro head gasket or intake valve gasket. That's not the right one because the 98s are different, so I had to go back and tell them I'm a moron.
Yeah, I know.
You'll see those, like you go into a mom and pop parts store like Arnold's, and they always have those little comics up on the back, and it'll say something about like someone standing at the counter, and the guy is behind the counter like telling the customer like, no, the computer says we don't have any, and the guy's like pointing at it.
Yep.
That sort of thing.
Yep.
When I still had my Audi, the starter went out on it, and so I went into, I don't remember which one it was in town, Advance, O'Reilly's, whatever, it doesn't matter, they're all the same. And I was like, all right, I need a starter for a 2001 Audi TT 225 Quattro with a 6-speed. Went through the whole rigmarole, blah, 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 blah. All right, here's your starter. Took it back to where the car was broken down, put the starter in, or pulled the starter out, tried to put the new one in. It wasn't any, like, bolt pattern wasn't even the same. And I laid it down next to the one that came out of the car, and the one that came out of the car was like 2 inches longer. I mean, it was like so obvious, and the bolt pattern was not the same. And like this, I don't even think this came from a Volkswagen, like this is probably for a Toyota Camry or something. Who knows? But I brought it back there with my starter, and the guy, this is the part number in the book. I don't give a fuck. That book is wrong. Look at what you gave me. I can't do anything, sir. Okay, fine. Gave him his starter back, went to Arnold's, and they gave me the right starter the first time. Problem solved.
My favorite thing is, I think I told this story already, but Advanced used to send me emails because I logged in to look for a part for the RX-7 one time. They'd send me emails, and they're like, your RX-7 is due for 188,000 mile service. I was like, what? Where are you coming up with these numbers?
That's some clairvoyance right there.
It's like, you are very, like, who is your market? Like, what? Who has an 88 Turbo 2 or whatever it was I was looking up, RX-7 with 188,000 miles on it? Like, who are you selling to?
But like 3% of the people they get it right on. Holy shit, it is.
I was.
Sell me one of all those things.
Yeah, the only thing I could justify is maybe if you had like a 2013 car that was out of warranty, and they're like, "Hey, you need to buy oil." Like, okay, yeah, it's about 50,000 miles. Sure, why not? I'll buy oil.
Katie's headlight burned out on her Focus just like 3 weeks ago. I went into one of those places to get a headlight, and they used to have those books. You just flip the book open, find your car. Okay, it's this part number, grab it. The book is gone now. You have to go to the front counter and tell them that I have an automatic 4-door Focus, so they give me a headlight for it. And then the guy wouldn't tell me what the part number was. He had to go get it for me. He was trying to be super helpful, like I was a moron or something, because he's probably used to working with morons when they come in for headlights. Okay, whatever. Wrong headlight. But of course, I opened the package.
Right, so it's your headlight
before I got the headlight out of the car. So now it's my headlight. I don't know what it's for. It's not the right one, though.
My favorite is the windshield wiper selector thing. Like, it used to be a book. And
now
you can just flip.
Now it's a computer.
There we go.
Oh,
there it is. Yep, and it's like, next page. Yeah, when I had the Volkswagen. Next page. Next page. Next page. Next page. Fuck, the book, it takes 2 seconds.
Try it with Audi, because all of their vehicles start with A, except for the one I own. Starts with a T. So I'm on the last page. Yeah.
They must sell parts. A large portion of their customers must be
morons.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, really, why would you set the store up like that? If it wasn't like, Joe, who just picked his kids up from soccer practice, and he doesn't know what
are they doing with
like.
all those parts?
Annoying the rest of us.
But like, Joe Blow from Kokomo is not going to know how to put a starter in his Camry. He's not going to go in there and buy a starter.
Well, yeah, but
He's going to have it towed to the
Yeah.
Jiffy Lube and they're going to put a starter in.
they know that we don't have any other options. The ones of us that work on our cars, so we have to go talk to the high school kid who has.
That's
to
why I
through
go
the
to
computer.
Arnold's,
There's
which
just
is a
not many of those
local,
left.
semi-local parts store chain for those who don't live in Iowa.
There's just not many of those left. Like there's one in Des Moines somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
They literally, on the backside of their receipt, they have a list of where they all are located because there's that few of them.
Napa is decent.
Napa's pretty good too. If I really need a part on a Sunday, I'll go to Napa.
And I know the Napa guy in Indianola, but they're not open on Sunday.
The one in
when I
Ames,
needed the
because
starter.
it's a big store, they are open on Sunday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when I needed the starter, they didn't have it, and of course O'Reilly's didn't have it either. But it's like, how do you not have an LT1 starter?
Yeah, you think that'd be
Of all things that you guys
super
would
common.
have, you don't have an LT1 starter, which I think is just a small block starter.
I was going to say,
I think it's
probably
the same.
the same.
It's the
starter
same.
they
It's
make
the same
since
block.
1950.
It's the same block. It's probably the same starter, but it wasn't in the inventory thing, and so he probably had it, but didn't know that he had it. If I just told him I need a starter for a 76 Malibu,
How about you just let me go back there and look at your starters?
I'll just go look. You let me look, and then I'll bring up what I want to pay for, and then
and
we'll
then
go
you can tell me what it's for, and I'll tell you that's the car I have. How about that?
Yeah. Anyway, rant over.
Yeah. I'm done complaining like an asshole now.
Should we do the news, Robbie?
Okay. There's a new Buick GS. It's a Jalopnik commenter's wet dream. It's just,
If it comes in brown,
Oh, for sure. Then yeah. Flat bottom steering wheel, Robbie.
oh, does it?
we haven't brought that back in a long
It's got a
long
flat
time.
bottom steering
Got
wheel,
that flat bottom steering wheel.
but I don't think it comes in a manual now.
Nope.
Nope.
more manual.
Manual is dead as of 2015.
But comes with a V6. It's how many million horsepower? What is it?
310.
310 horsepower. You get
Hatchback.
9-speed auto, all-wheel drive hatchback, a twin clutch diff.
If
whatever-
I was
whatever that
going to
means.
buy one, it'd still be the last gen one, and I'd want mine in front wheel drive, please.
Yeah.
Smoky
it's
Burns.
not, it's not a bad looking car, but
No.
it's not anything special either.
No, and it's also $40,000.
That's a
Yes.
lot of money.
I think it starts at $40,000. But
That's
that's a GS, so I don't know
Yeah.
what options you can or already have on the GS.
And for
What
the-
is that based off of? Do we remember? It's a Vauxhall of some sort, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know
I don't
if it
know.
is anymore. It probably is, but I don't.
I'm pretty sure that's a world platform that they just took from somebody else.
It's what the Malibu should have been, which is a hatchback. Because the Malibu looks like a hatchback, but it's not a
They
hatchback.
did that once. It was called the Malibu Max. Everybody hated it.
You know what? I would drive a Malibu Max SS.
It said my biggest gripe about the Malibu Max was that Max was spelled with two X's.
It was.
And that was too much.
It goes back. It's extreme.
It was too much.
XIP. What was the other thing we talked about that was extreme?
PDX.
Oh, PDX. Malibu Max with two X's.
Max
It's because it's
6.
extreme, bro. You can do extreme family things in here. That's because they.
Envoy
that was
XUV.
That's
so
because-
lame.
That was like the worst looking car of all time.
I don't
The Malibu Max.
It wasn't the
But
worst
it's like
looking car.
you want
Yes,
to
it
you want
is.
to talk about phoning in a design.
Yeah,
the
that's for
Malibu
sure.
Max is
But it's
phoning
not.
it in.
I
Look
mean-
at that dog shit.
I can't
No.
even
The back of
defend
it is terrible.
You
It's
want to know
awful.
what you don't ever see driving down the road anymore?
They were everywhere for like 2
A
years.
Malibu Max.
No, there was
they're
a,
all gone.
There's a girl that used to work out at my gym that had a Malibu Max SS.
Did you ask her?
No, I
I
was
didn't
nervous
realize
'cause, you know-
Are you sure that it was a Max SS?
Yeah,
and
it
not
was.
just a Malibu SS.
No, I'm positive. It was
I
a
did not
Max
know they
SS.
made a Malibu Max SS. That's quite a
I know.
badge.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like I'd rock one of those. I mean, it looks
Just
like
for the
shit.
walls.
I'd troll Hondas all day long.
I wonder what the Malibu SS package was.
I think it was a 3.6 liter V6. Robbie, you want to check me on that?
Which one?
Malibu Max.
Well,
or just do
the
a Malibu
SS.
Like
Except
a
he's going to get
2000
like
2007, let's say.
Yeah, 5 to 7.
Malibu SS.
It is a 3.9 liter V6.
3.9 liters.
3.9.
9. That's a lot of displacement.
240 horsepower.
Hell yeah. You could
240 foot-pounds of torque.
You control a lot of Hondas with that.
That's a decent. Yeah, that'd be
It's a
all
little
right.
mover.
Lame.
3.9
That's kind of cool looking.
liters. No, it's not. Definitely not cool looking.
It was much better than the base Malibu. How about that?
Ooh, a real challenge.
You know what? You know why I hated the Malibu Max, actually, is I remember the commercial, because even at like 15 or however old I was like, what in the fuck is this? So they drove up one of those. It's not a suspension bridge. What's the bridge called? Like parts in the middle. You know, they let the bus through.
Yeah, I don't know, but
it's not a drawbridge either, but it's whatever that is. And so what happened was in the commercial they drove the car up the bridge as the bridge was going up, and they got over the fulcrum, and the car was teetering, and the passengers in the back seat, to show a feature, to show the feature of the back seat, they could slide the back seat could slide back and forth, which is fucking stupid. Why do you need a 4-seat car that the back seat?
No, that's actually kind of brilliant, because if you don't have anything in the back, but you don't want your kids to be kicking your seat, you slide the seat back.
Just leave it back.
But if you need a little bit more space for something that's a little bit long, you slide the seat forward.
You could fold the seats forward.
You could still put people in it.
I think it's dumb. What do you gain in, like,
I'm
4
all about
inches?
It. Hey, sometimes that's all that matters.
So anyway,
imagine
they go up the thing, and they're teetering on the thing, and then the back seat passenger, they slide the seat back, and then, they save themselves. Oh, they're not going to die. It was fucking dumb.
I almost said what happens if you gain 4 inches, but I didn't go there. I was
you went there, but you went there anyway. Yeah. I didn't go there.
It's too funny not to go there. I want to say it. Just get it out there.
So, for $40,000, you can buy a Buick GS with 310 horsepower, or
a Civic Type R.
You can get a Kia Stinger with 365 horsepower.
That's a Mini, okay.
And rear-wheel drive.
Is it?
I think so.
Show me what you're talking about, Robbie.
We've talked about this car before. Much better.
Oh, that one. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. That is called the Stinger? That's the name they went with? That's a dumb name.
Stinger.
But okay. Yeah, I'm with you. 365 horsepower, right? Rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
It's a nice car.
It's either rear or all-wheel.
What price did you quote there?
According to Car and Driver, $33,000.
So for a base model?
Yeah, for a base model So I'm not sure what the 365 horsepower one costs. Or you could also get a Giulia for roughly the same price.
2-liter Giulia.
Base model Giulia, which are apparently problematic.
Are they? That's too bad.
Nobody's surprised.
It's a neat car.
Damn it. Alfa Romeo.
I know. We wanted that car to be awesome.
You can get one of those for a lease for $300 a month.
Kind of an expensive lease.
For a Giulia, though.
You could also get a C-Class.
Yeah.
Or a 3 Series. I don't know if it's
which
going
one
to
would
be
you
less
pick of those?
problematic. I probably would not pick the Giulia because I would feel like a dick for not getting the Quadrifoglio or however you say it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, this is not the car that I wanted, and then I would be disappointed.
But I'd feel the
I'd
same way about
Beamer.
a 3 Series versus an M3.
I would get an
or an
A3
M4.
because A3s are dope, Robbie.
Yeah.
Sick as...
And it's got a warranty, so it doesn't... All of your musics don't matter, Robbie. Warranties.
Robbie, you're going to turn it in.
That's
it's
fine.
nothing
It
more.
becomes somebody else's problem down the road.
It's nothing more or anything less than, just it's an Audi with a warranty. You have fun with it. You get rid of it.
There you go. That's fine.
You turn it in.
Fine. I'm on board.
Somebody else's service problem now.
Yep.
That's the same... For that defense, you should have bought a Giulia, though.
No, but I want the twin turbo. No, I want the twin turbo V6
That's true.
one. I
Because
don't
you don't
want
want to phone it in. You're always going to regret.
Yeah, because everybody's going to say, "Oh, is this the fast?" No, it's not.
It's
this one around the Nürburgring. No, not this one.
not
This
this
one didn't. No,
was the
not
other
this one. No.
Does it have the carbon fiber seats?
No carbon. No, it doesn't have the. Doesn't have the splitter.
I'm out.
No, it doesn't have. No, yeah, not the wheels.
Can't have that
I'm
one.
out of here. See ya. So
Are
anyway,
we done with the
we can be done.
boring cars?
Yeah.
We can talk about another boring car. The 2018 Nissan Leaf wants to cut down to one pedal part of the time.
They want you to drive with one pedal sometimes.
I read this 3 times to try and get my head around it.
I've thought of a good way to describe it to people.
I understand what they're trying to do. I just don't think it will work.
I don't think people can handle it.
No.
People are pretty stupid.
Let's explain it before we get into it, though.
So Nissan is proposing in their Leafs that
Leaves.
Leaves?
What's the plural of leaf?
Never seen
when it's
it.
a name.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Leafs.
Leaves. It's probably leaves. Yeah. Let's go with that.
Let's go with that. But they're proposing, like in stop and go traffic, that you can push a button, which in their video is on the top of the gas pedal, or it's a hybrid, so I don't know what they want to call it. The electric pedal.
The go faster
pedal
button.
The long skinny one.
So they want to basically eliminate the brake so that when you push it slowly, you slowly gain speed, and then when you let off of it, it basically brakes for you, and then if you let go completely, it like locks up the brakes. So it's basically turning your Leaf into a driving similar to your ride-on lawnmower.
How do you maintain a speed?
You got to keep your foot there.
You would maintain it by holding your foot
Maintain
there. And then
pressure on the
I would
accelerator.
imagine once you get a certain speed, it has to disengage. Because this is only effective at like 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, they said it was only good like in town, like stoplight to stoplight driving.
So this will work in Los Angeles on the 101, going to and from San Diego to Los Angeles. Because you're going to be sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic for 3.5 hours.
Not in a Leaf though, because it'll be dead by then.
Yeah, you
Probably-
won't make
that's
it.
probably
You won't
true.
make it.
But that's the only way that this would work. Like, you have to be in the bumper-to-bumper all day long traffic.
I think you're just doing it from stoplight to stoplight, like in downtown traffic.
No, you're going 3 feet at a time. Do you know what I mean?
I think
It's so you don't have to rest your foot on the brake during stop and go traffic.
I don't.
We're assuming major congestion here.
my fear is someone's not going to hit the button and then they're going to run into somebody else because they're like, oh god, it didn't stop,
They're gonna lift and it doesn't slow down.
and then they're going to panic, and then they're going to hit the accelerator because that's what people do when they panic. Apparently, is
Yep.
hit the accelerator.
I think this could work to a select
I
group of
think
people.
it's gonna be really rough.
Bro,
Oh, yeah.
think about this. People can't figure out how to get Chryslers in park. You're telling me you're changing
that
up
is
the braking scenario, and you think people are going to be able to handle that?
That is exactly why it won't make it to the mass public. Or mass,
They're releasing it.
It'll never work to the general public.
I'm sure they'll have to issue a software update
Yep,
and remove it.
I think it could work. I think that if you know what you're doing and you know how to drive it, this could be very effective in bumper-to-bumper stop-and-go traffic.
Yep.
However, I don't see it taking off because I don't think people can
Also,
handle it.
if your limit's like 25 and then you accidentally go 26 and all of a sudden it doesn't brake, now you're fucked.
Yeah, you have to pay attention.
Think you're driving around, okay, if
Oh,
I
no, no
stable
one's
at
gonna pay
25,
attention.
25, 25, 25, 26, oh, the one pedal brake isn't working anymore. Like, how long does it take you to realize that happened?
I think you're gonna be real jerky too.
Yeah, it'd be like
It's gonna be
driving a
really
lawnmower.
hard to maintain in that speed because when you're maintaining a speed, you're in and out of your gas a little bit. You're
True.
coasting, not coasting. But as soon as you lift a little bit,
Slow down.
you're regenerative braking, which
It's
means
true.
you're going to do this jerking.
Because people are going to be like, oh, I'm just going to let off the accelerator and coast. Nah,
No, that's
not
a-
really,
not a
bro.
thing. And then,
Yeah.
and then if it does that,
Stop.
I would assume if you let off the gas, it automatically put a brake light on. But I would like to think they thought that through.
I never even thought about that.
This is so stupid. Don't do it,
I
Nissan.
don't think it's so stupid. I just don't think it's going to work.
Nissan, stop fucking around with the Leaf and give me a 390Z or whatever you're going to call
Yeah,
it. or
give me an S
200Z.
chassis.
Yeah, stop this shit. Make a performance car.
I wonder because like the Leaf, I think the Leaf does. I know the e-Golf does. They have regenerative braking.
Yeah.
I wonder if does the brake light come on for that? I suppose it would because I think that's a different.
That's a totally different thing because you're actually braking, like you're hitting the brakes.
Okay.
Give me a 2-liter turbo in a 2-door car. Just stop trying to make
Rear-wheel drive.
one pedal a thing.
Rear-wheel drive.
Just saying.
With a manual
and a
transmission.
manual transmission.
It's all you do. It's all Nissan should do. You do one thing. You make a 3/4 size truck and you make S chassis.
Yeah,
And that's the thing you do.
Is it that hard to ask for a company to just make a plain sports car? Like
They don't
without any
even.
bells and whistles?
I don't
Like-
even want another 370Z.
No.
It's too complicated. It's got leather seats. No. Just look
They
at,
make those. They're called
go to-
BRZs,
go
and
to-
we don't like them.
Go to Toyota and look at the whatever it's called now, the
The
FRS,
GT86.
and look at that and just say, I'm going to put a turbo on that. Give me an inline 4 with a turbo, manual transmission.
Yep.
Done.
That would sell.
Done.
Ask Fiat how well those are
The
selling.
minimum amount of airbags.
Wait, you're talking about the 124?
The 124. That's basically what that is, and they can't
That's Miata.
move them.
You can buy a Miata, though. Because it's a Fiat.
I still maintain that
It's a Fiat,
like
that's
if you forget the badges and you just look at the chassis are the same, which motor would you rather have from an enthusiast standpoint? Because I know I'm going to want to change shit. Taking the Fiat because it's turboed from the factory, which means that tuning options are much larger, much greater. The ability to tune, how far you're going to be able to take it is much larger.
But Fiat shot themselves in the foot. They're like, oh, it's a Sunday cruiser. It's like, okay, so now this has become a fourth car to people. So
The
your
Miata
market
always
is tiny.
was.
Your market's tiny.
No, they should have gone out with their first advertisement should have been like a fucking autocross. Being like, this is your new autocross king.
You should have had smoke coming off the back and just sliding that fucker around. Like that guy in the S2000 in the tire rack commercial.
Should have gotten real wild. Sponsor a Formula D driver. Fuck it.
They have a rally team?
Yeah, sponsor just there's a Viper that's drifting like in a Toyota IQ or whatever. Like shit gets wild. Just do something crazy. Fiat drift car. Boom.
Yeah. Moving on. So Apple's going to introduce a new software that prevents you from using your phone while you drive.
This is good because I'm pretty sure I saw 2 accidents on the way home that had to do with people not paying attention.
I thought this was already like a thing. I thought you could just like push a button on your phone, kind of like airplane mode. Or is that not a thing already?
I don't think it's a thing.
Oh. I obviously don't use it, so if it is a thing, I don't know.
Well,
But
airplane mode's a thing.
Yeah, but this is car mode. So next to your airplane mode button is a car mode.
So if you plug it into the car,
Yep.
or connects to the car via Bluetooth, or it senses you're going over 10 miles an hour. So Usain Bolt probably won't use Apple after this, I assume. But for everybody else,
But yeah, I think
Never thought of that.
No, I think the way it's designed that if you connect your Bluetooth to your car, like most people do, so you can get your hands-free stuff, this takes it a step further that it completely disengages everything except for phone calls through the Bluetooth system.
and maps and
maps.
something else.
Yep. So,
or whatever.
but you can easily not use that by not using your Bluetooth.
What if you're a passenger?
It said you could
You
hand
would-
it to
your-
the passenger could put in a code or something.
Yeah, and your phone, the passenger's phone would not be connected to the Bluetooth.
Well, see, so I guess I didn't see that it was Bluetooth dependent.
Well, it's also speed.
I thought it was speed.
Is it- is it-
I think-
it does-
the
it
way
does
I
also
read
do
it, it was
speed.
speed dependent,
There were-
but Bluetooth functionality would continue to operate as normal. That's the way I read it.
Yeah, see, I didn't see the speed. I just saw that as soon as
Because,
you
like,
connect
I
it to
don't-
your car.
I've never had a car.
I think there was
Bluetooth.
both, yeah.
Bluetooth's not a thing in my
Oh, see,
my
the Maxima's
early
got it, and so does the
2000s
Edge.
world. So
It's every time my phone sucks so bad that I reset the
'cause it's
network
like
all the
9
time.
years old.
I know, but like every time I have to like do anything to it, it disconnects from my Bluetooth, so I don't even bother.
But I feel like it's not going to stop anybody from doing things because
No.
if the passenger can use his phone, then the driver can unlock it. Oh, I'm the passenger. Do. Yep. Continue on using my phone.
Yeah,
You want to hear some real dumbassery? This is from
We love dumbassery
This
here.
is
Let's hear it.
Nissan. Just make a fucking S chassis. Seriously. They've decided that they're going to start putting a Faraday cage in their cars.
Do you know what a Faraday cage is?
to the Google.
A Faraday
Make sure I'm
cage is
picturing the right thing.
A Faraday cage is a metal structure that's I don't know how they're going to do that because it kind of has to be grounded, which basically
Oh yeah,
cuts out all RF frequencies. So,
yeah. So you can stand in
your
it.
phone
like
would-
Tesla did that where it would
we
ground
have
around him.
We use them at work to test antenna loss and patterns and stuff like that. I
So think about this. Nobody in the car can use their phone now.
0 people.
You can't even sit in your car and make a phone call,
That's not gonna
Nope.
work.
not moving.
You can't sit in your car and do an email.
Nope.
'Cause,
So like
Iowa just said now texting and driving is a primary offense. They used to have to be able to have that was a secondary offense. You had to be speeding and texting to be able to pull you over. Now if they see you texting, they can pull you over. So you're supposed to pull over and send your text into your email and then join back with traffic again. I couldn't even do that.
have they never talked to a traveling salesman?
Have they never driven a car? They're Nissan. They make cars.
Just make an S chassis. Just one thing. Just want you to do one thing. It's really stupid. Like, it's really dumb. It's. I don't know if it's. I think you know what it is. It's millennial think tank groups. That's what it is.
Yes.
It's like nobody.
Why are we?
How do you not understand how people use cars?
This was something I wanted to say last week when we were talking to Alex, and he was talking about how like Germany and other European countries have way better crash statistics than we do. Why not, instead of spending all this time and money and effort creating new technologies, why don't we just teach people to be better about it? Let's focus on making
education.
Let's focus on driver education and safety procedures instead of trying to reinvent or invent all these crazy, expensive, and frankly hard to produce technologies. Let's just focus on making us better instead.
No, that's way harder. We just want to idiot proof everything. Bubble wrap on everything.
It drives me nuts.
No, I'm right there with you. It's super frustrating.
What?
That's manufacturing in general. I mean, how can we make this idiot proof?
Yeah, no, and that's the way I have to design, like, you know, when I'm building data racks at work, I can't build it the way I think it should be built. I have to build it how it's going to be serviced by the idiot who's servicing it on a weekend.
Yes.
So, you know, you got to be careful how you're going to bundle things together so that they can be traceable and stuff like that. You got to think about those things. Maybe we should just focus on making us better instead. Spending all this time and money and energy in making things stupider.
Self-improvement's bullshit.
Let's make us smarter instead.
Yeah. I mean, let's be realistic. People think the Earth is flat, so I mean,
day.
Think about it for a minute. Like these are the people that we're contending with. So,
yeah. I don't really have anything.
I don't have anything to say.
Without going down like a crazy rabbit trail about how stupid everybody is, let's move on to
Robbie is old man Adam this week.
That's fine.
I'm good with that. I'm excited about it.
He's just fucking pissed.
Are
you turning 28 or something, or what's happening?
I am 28.
Are you turning 29? Is that
Not
the
yet.
problem?
This is the real sign of adulthood, Robbie.
Where I complain
Everybody
about how
else is
stupid
an
When
idiot.
you finally got to the point where it's like, Jesus Christ, you're all a bunch of morons. I'm going home.
I don't know.
It's coming.
I feel
Say it.
Robbie still has
Say
hope.
it.
Let's ask Robbie when he's 29 if he still has hope.
I don't, but
We'll beat it.
I can't decide if it's because as I've gotten older, I feel like I've continued to try to learn.
You're trying to improve yourself, yeah. You didn't just stop when you got done with college or
high school.
High
I
school.
did. I wanted to get an automotive degree. I got an engineering degree. I want to continue that. I want to, I don't know, if there's something I don't know, I read about it. I educate myself on it. I want to actually understand the concepts of whatever it is I'm doing, like whether it be driving, what we're doing here at the podcast, like the audio side of it, the video, whatever. I constantly want to be better at things. And I feel like as I've gotten older, I swear to God, like I just look around, I'm like, are you all content with not knowing anything?
Right?
And I'm the asshole because I look at people going, you're stupid.
You don't need to know what car I'm putting the tire on.
That's my complaint. I was just like, I'm smarter than you, and then I'm the asshole because I feel that way. I
want to return to a barter society. I'd fucking rock that shit out.
Oh God.
I'd rock that shit out. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm the asshole that points out that you're dumb. Yep. I'm okay with that.
You can't tell people they're dumb, Robbie.
I know.
You're
It's
just
not a
being
thing.
pessimistic, Robbie.
It's not a thing.
No, then I get frustrated, and then I walk away and just be like, okay, here's $100. Give me the fucking
Yeah,
tire.
but then they're like, "Do you see that asshole?
Yeah,
what
what
the
fucking
fuck?
dick. What is
jerk.
his problem?
has a degree, and he thinks he's better than
This
me.
fucking engineer."
I went to school for 9 years, and I'm not a doctor.
What do you think? I'm better than me? Fuck. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Oh, man.
You're just a dick, Robbie.
I am.
Welcome to the club, Robbie. I'm glad I'm not alone now. Michael, you're
Give
next.
me another year. Yeah, when I hit 28 sounds like it's the year where you lose hope.
It's downhill from there, boys.
No, it's 100% true. There's the new engineer at work wants to be everybody's friend, so she's the nice one.
I don't have time for that person.
And I have taken on the role of asshole. If something needs to
I'm
be
that
said,
guy too.
if something needs to be said or something needs to be done, and it's not in the and it doesn't make everybody happy, I do it. I send the email that says, no, that's fucking wrong. So I feel like I fully embrace this role. I'm okay.
Yes. I'm so
I wouldn't say I've taken on the role of
revelation.
asshole, but I will call people out on stuff. I don't have a problem with that. It's like, if you're wrong, like, I'm going to tell you that you're wrong. I might do it. I'm probably going to do it nicely, but I'm still going to tell you that you're wrong.
I will do it nicely the first one and maybe 2 times.
That's fair. Depends on how wrong you are, too.
I'm going to be a real fucking dick about it.
If it's costing me money, like, or me, the company, whatever, money, the extent of which your wrongness will be made public to everybody, trust me, but it may be sugar-coated slightly.
Yep. A couple weeks ago, or just probably a month ago already, where somebody did a bunch of stuff that completely was wrong. And he was trying to ship shit or get stuff to final inspection to ship that didn't meet anything. And he's like, well, your instructions weren't good enough.
Oh, no.
And he went,
no, you didn't.
No.
Doing
Sassy Robbie came out.
So he's doing things that are completely violating everything that we're allowed to do, just like buffing things to hide flaws, shit like that. But my instructions weren't good enough. So I wrote this long email and I copied my boss, his boss, a bunch of other bosses on it. It was just like,
CEO.
This is fucking bullshit.
This Robbie guy, what is his deal?
I just completely pointed fingers as to what was actually wrong and said, this is what's at fault here. Everything's been in place for 2 fucking years. If there was something wrong with my instructions, we should have known by now. And I just went off. And then I walked into my boss's office and said, if you need me, I will be in HR. And, then he read the email and laughed and was like, no, you're fine. It's true. Everything you said is true. You're fine.
I'm so glad we don't
Robbie
have an HR department.
No time for your shit.
No.
This malarkey.
Our
That's
products,
an age thing.
Our products go on fucking airplanes.
28 a year.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, on airplanes. I mean, my God.
I feel the same way, and I'm just putting in internet, which I feel like people are more upset about when it doesn't work than when airplanes don't work, frankly.
It's right there.
Meh, that happens to somebody else.
Yeah.
My internet's broken. That guy's dead on an airplane. There's a disconnect.
Yeah, if my internet doesn't work, I can't live. But if I'm dead, it doesn't matter.
Fair. Also fair.
Yep. You guys want to wrap this up with Ford killing the Fiesta in America?
I would have thought that I would have thought people would have bought Fiestas, I guess.
I thought they did.
I thought they did too.
I thought they're all over the place. I see them constantly.
Apparently all 50,000 of them were sold here.
Have you not read the Jalopnik comments? It's Fiesta ST everybody wanted. Everyone was going to buy it. They didn't.
I know 2 people that did, though.
That's true. We do know.
And one of them bought a Forester.
What?
Don bought a Forester.
Traded it in for a Forester?
For a Forester.
Man, he's growing up too.
A manual Forester? Or just a regular Forester?
No, like a brand new one. It's probably got a CVT in it.
Ugh.
Probably, yeah.
Guarantee it.
Damn it, Don.
Yeah.
But anyways, so everyone was super jacked about the Fiesta.
Oh, Fiesta ST, it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to everybody, ever.
It's the best performance Ford thing ever besides the Mustang.
It's cheap and it's accessible and everybody can have it and it's blah, 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 blah. Nobody bought it.
And it lasted, what, a year?
Oh, no.
2013, I think.
I'm thinking
quite a few.
just the ST, but
You're thinking the RS.
that's the RS.
And that's a Focus.
You're right, man.
Those are 2 entirely different cars.
I don't know my Fords at all.
Yeah, you're mixing up your fist and your Fost, bro.
My bad.
You're focusing on the wrong thing.
No, I'm not doing that on this show. I hate puns. I literally hate puns.
That's why you're done with Slip Angle.
Did they do puns?
That's like Cabot's thing.
Oh, now I am. Yeah. I'm not listening to it ever again. Like, I don't know of anybody that puns bother more than me. I think puns are the laziest form of comedy.
Adam loves them.
I think they are fucking lazy.
I'm a dad. It's my job.
You liked him before you were
gets a dad pass on the fact that he's not allowed to say them around me. He can do puns on his own, but, like, puns are fucking lazy. I'm sorry. Literally pissed me off. It's not funny.
I'm usually not fast enough to do puns well.
Like, I literally have to leave when somebody like throws one in. They're like, huh? And I'm like, we're not friends anymore.
That's the biggest problem with puns is because they'll like, wait, did you catch that? And if you don't, they bring it back around. Like, hey, that was funny. Where's my laugh?
Well, my problem is like it's that newsreader thing. Like you ever watch the? I don't, but do you watch the nightly news? Like when I was a kid,
No, I'm
they
not
used to
that
like
old
they'd
yet.
like
Let's
chuck in a
calm down
little
here.
chuck in a little pun. You know, it's like that's not how people talk to each other in real life. It's not funny. I hate watching the
Holy
news.
cow!
I hate
this
the
is
news.
a ranty episode,
dude. I can't. It literally makes me livid angry.
Can we just rename the podcast 3 Assholes Complaining?
We were going to start one called Hatercast. Apparently, we've
found
done
it.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we can move on. What were we talking about?
We were talking about the Fiesta no longer being a Fiesta in the United States.
You can buy them other places when they do the 2018, but you can't buy them here.
We were excited about the 3-cylinder ST.
I thought it was sweet. I literally almost bought one, but nobody had them because they're like, "Who wants a manual 3-cylinder Fiesta?" I was like, "It sounds
Everybody.
sweet." Richard Hammond thinks it's cool. Like, I think you guys would probably sell some if you had them, and I could. There wasn't anyone.
They're
There
so
wasn't anyone,
cheap. They
They're like $16,000.
people would buy those not realizing that what it is. They're just like, oh my god, that's the world's cheapest car. I'm buying it.
Yeah, I wanted to find one so I could thrash it and see if it, because I bet it was sweet, because it was still like 130 horsepower or something. 5-speed manual, turbo 3-cylinder, got like 45 miles to the gallon or some shit.
That'd be fun.
It would be fun.
And practical.
Thrash it daily, yeah, it's still practical.
Relatively,
Ish.
Cheap insurance, I'm sure.
Oh, gosh.
probably more practical than anything I own. Let's be real.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought it was sweet.
Apparently, they're faster on an autocross.
They are.
They're very fast.
So.
Yeah, Ford just discontinued a car that won the Des Moines Autocross.
The Des Moines good guys.
Good-
We
yeah,
never
good
really
guys
talked
autocross,
about
yeah.
that very much.
No, but that was the thing. The Fiesta
Yeah.
ST took fastest time on Sunday.
At All American Sunday against C7s, a 350 or a GT 350, Z28, all the new ones, and our buddy in his Fiesta ST, bone stock, drop in can, because people come over like, what's done to this?
Nothing.
It's got a drop in filter and a different set of wheels and tires,
Pack it up. Pack
and
up
he
your
was
shit, get out.
almost a second faster than second.
Pack
I
your
mean,
shit
it
up,
wasn't
get
even
out.
just like a fluke. I got him by 1/10 here, like
No.
a full second.
Legit faster.
I bet he came home with $2,000 worth of
Shit. Swag.
vouchers and
Yep.
and stuff. So.
Didn't he get like a full set of tires or something?
Yeah, but it turns out they're like Bridgestones, like all season.
I can put him on his.
That's what he said.
On
He's
his
like, well, I guess
stockers.
I yay. It's not really, because he was like, oh, sweet, I'm gonna get because he's going to
Rivals.
nationals
Yeah.
this year. He's like, sweet, I'm gonna get a free set of tires for nationals.
No.
You can get a free set of tires to drive to nationals, but you're not gonna race with them.
Shoot.
So
Oh, well.
Seems
he got a voucher for a free set of American, or maybe it was buy 2 get 2 free American racing wheels.
it's helpful.
I was like, I'll bet a Fiesta would look real good with some torque thrusts.
Put some
on
chromies
it.
on there.
Some torque
bro.
thrusts, baby. Yeah.
Or at least with those, people would buy those vouchers. I
well,
mean,
yeah,
it's
that's
sought
what
after.
I said.
You can sell
I'm
them.
sure
If
you
he
could
doesn't
probably
use them,
sell those.
Yep.
But there was like $150 to Autometer, and like $200 to Speedway, and like
Look at you.
$50 at Summit, and
Yeah.
He's got that MR2 also. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
shit, those
it's
guys sell all
definitely
kinds
gonna
of stuff.
well, yeah, you can get helmets and other safety
Gauges
gear
or whatever.
from Speedway and stuff like that. So
Yep.
definitely worth the entry fee.
Yeah.
And definitely worth all the butthurt of all the people around going, we just got beat by a Fiesta ST.
My favorite
Fist.
thing, they have like a parade of winners at the end. And I'm sitting in the passenger seat, windows down, and there's some lady off like to my right. She goes, if you were going to win something, you could have at least waxed it. And I was like, did you even watch this before you got here? Nope. It's just daily driver. I mean, he didn't even, he just thought he was going to show up and
Just doing
turn
autocross, yeah.
turn some laps.
People were pissed.
Good.
It was funny.
Relax.
And that's why they shouldn't stop selling it here. So, I can't believe they are. It makes no sense to me. It surprises me that so few
I'm
have sold.
surprised it's not more popular. Or didn't sell more.
I bet if they put a hybrid motor in it, they couldn't sell them, or they couldn't build them fast enough. That's
That's the world we live
the
in.
reality of the world.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're going to make a crossover and call it the Siesta.
Is that true or is that a
No, but
That's an Adam thing. Yeah, that was not true.
is that a dad joke, maybe?
Yeah, I was waiting.
That was kind of that was a dad
It was
joke.
almost punny.
Oh, god damn it.
I'll burn this podcast.
I'm trying.
down. I'll burn this fucker down. I swear to God.
Are you guys done?
I'm done. Should we wrap it up?
I think we've ranted long enough.
Join our Facebook group.
Talk to us.
That'd be rad.
It's fun.
I haven't even complained once on there.
Maybe you should.
That's not true. You were grammar Nazi in me.
You spelled stuff wrong.
But Lee proved you wrong as well.
You weren't done talking, apparently. For once, I interrupted you.
Amazing. You guys did this. You guys did this via text.
Did you not see it?
No.
I'll show it to you later.
It was on our Facebook group.
It was on the Facebook group.
It was a picture of Jeremy Clarkson like dabbing or something.
Okay.
And then
with all the hundreds and fires.
Yep. And then he said something about Jeremy Clarkson being more rad than everybody.
More hip than us. And I
he
put
said then instead of
van.
van. So then I was the next person that commented that said than, and I put the asterisk.
Yep.
And then
Lee comes to my rescue and goes, maybe he's just not done talking yet. And then I put, I'll ever be.
Yeah, so then I'll ever be.
Boom.
No. See you guys next week.